Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for having us after that exciting keynote. My name is Stevie Case. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer at Vanta. I'm here with Mark Lail. He's our head of go-to-market operations. And we are really excited to talk to you today about how we have taken some incredible, outstanding human rep behaviors and scaled them with automation and AI. So, as you just heard, my career started in a slightly unusual place. I was actually the world's first female pro gamer. That competitive mindset has fueled 18 years of work in revenue. And I've done everything from being the first non-technical hire at a startup, bringing in their first million in ARR, to scaling Twilio's enterprise business to more than $1 billion in ARR. Today, I lead all of go-to-market at Vanta, including sales, customer success, account management, channel, RevOps, and more.
Hi, I'm Mark Lail, VP of Go-to-Market Ops at Vanta. I didn't know we were doing a deep cut on the intro, but I've led various op streams after that in B2B SaaS, from PLG companies to sales-led companies like here at Vanta, helping software businesses that make software for the trades to digital experiences. And today I lead operations, enablement, analytics, strategy, and system/AI.
So let me start by telling you a little bit about Vanta. We are an AI trust management platform. What that means is we help companies earn and prove trust. Sometimes that means helping them achieve SOC 2 compliance for the first time or running a customer-facing security review. We also help them get that done in a way that is AI first and automated. We eliminate the manual busy work that usually bogs teams down. Something that would have taken months with spreadsheets and screenshots, we now do that in just days. We like to say it's compliance that doesn't suck too much. We're making something that used to be really painful much, much easier with AI and automation. And then I want to tell you a little bit about our go-to-market, because what we are doing in go-to-market is really unique as well. Our go-to-market is incredibly scaled at this point. We're a B2B business with well more than 100 million in ARR. We have more than 200 quota carriers in various forms, more than 80 SDRs. And we sell to very different personas in totally different segments. We sell to founders doing compliance for the very first time, and we also sell to CISOs who are running large, risk-centric programs in the enterprise. It's a complex motion, and it is 100% sales-led. So our go-to-market engine has to operate at massive scale while still feeling personalized and high trust to every buyer. That's why we've leaned into AI. While our team is big and complex, what's wild is that it actually doubles every year. So we can't just add humans. That's hard enough on its own. We also have to scale that with efficiency at the core. We are selling to startups who make decisions in days. We're also selling to enterprises who make decisions in a year. And as we're going through that hypergrowth, the expectation from our board, from our investors, is that we do that more efficiently every single year. As we've learned over time, by trying point solutions, they simply don't scale. They may solve one team's problem at one moment, but they create silos, extra admin work, and ultimately more complexity. What we really needed to make hypergrowth possible in an efficient manner was a tool like Clay that allowed us to get more efficient as we scaled that large org.
So we've approached AI innovation a little differently. We believe the way that you stand out from the crowd is to be uniquely you, play into your brand. And off-the-shelf software just didn't allow us to be Vantans, and we kind of strive to be uniquely us. However, building from scratch was super expensive, and we couldn't find the skill set you needed to do that by itself. And it was just that time-consuming and costly nature that we started leveraging a little bit of a hybrid approach. We focused on building alpha by leveraging tools like Clay, which I like to refer to as my RevOps Swiss Army knife. Like if I got a problem, Clay's got something I can use to solve it. It makes it very different than the rest of the AI tools that are out there. I consider it more of a canvas for us to paint on rather than a paint in the lines kind of moment. You can build what you want your customer journey to look like. How do we want our CSMs to show up to that first call with the customer? We get to reverse engineer that, figuring out what happened in the sales process, giving it to those CSMs so they show up at that first call ready to build value right away. And we've tried a few point solutions too. Back in 2023, we tried AI SDR, and we realized without that proper context, we were creating way more noise than signal. And selling to security buyers, they instantly saw through that AI, and they want to connect with people. And they're uniquely skeptical. Like, they're looking at that thing saying, I don't want to trust that. I want to buy from a person who I trust. And off-the-shelf tools really struggled to write in Vanta's tone and voice. And we realized the real superpower we needed to build was giving our team the tools to go build that connection, spending time putting that relationship back in, building the trust with those security buyers. And we wanted to give our time to SDRs so they could spend time talking to those people, understanding their pains and challenges.
So with that experience in mind, we set out to figure out how do we give our teams the most time back to build those relationships. We started to focus on this in 3 phases. Phase 1 was eliminate busy work for our humans. Phase 2 was find the best performing people on our team and automate and AI power those workflows so everyone else could leverage those great plays. Step 3 was empowering our entire field to become builders themselves and creating a truly AI-first culture.
So we did what any great seller would do. We went and asked them, hey, where do you spend your time? Where can we help you the most? We got them to fill out this survey that gave us real data on where they're spending their time the most. And we took these results, and we started to prioritize. Where do we go ask them? Where do we understand more and more about what they're doing?
When we ran this time study with the field, what we saw was a clear problem. Our reps were spending far too much time on busy work. So we set a bold, measurable goal to eliminate 10 hours per week per rep of busy work from their lives. I pushed for this to become a strategic initiative because tying it to a concrete metric let us do 2 things. The first was it anchored our work around efficiency as we scaled, and the second was it gave us justification to secure budget and invest in automation.
But this wasn't just to eliminate time. It was also to maximize impact at the same time. This chart is the performance of our AEs. You can see we have a group of high-performing AEs that outperform their peers every single quarter. So we sat down with them. What do they do that's unique to the rest of the group? These people were our testing grounds. We were trying to help them leverage AI, and we wanted to recreate the things that they do best. The mandate was clear to leverage their tactics and strategies to raise the floor of execution for the entire team, moving that core middle up and to the right, ensuring that every rep has the tools that our best reps use to outperform, ensuring quota attainment was high across the board. And what we realized that some of the best ideas come from the field organically. We wanted to enable them to do this even more. We realized that our field would solve problems if we gave them the tool to do so, proving to be a great testing ground for us to scale things there forward. And this was about changing the culture. We expect innovation from the field. They're not just consumers of AI, they're builders of AI. So we bought a tool called Dust that helped us do this and democratize the assessment building. We solved real challenges with it, allowing our GTM teams to get answers for stuff that were buried in Slack or Google Drive without ever leaving Slack, enabling our SME team to answer questions more quickly because we were pre-writing answers to them based upon their knowledge base. And we even allowed our reps to craft their competitive pitch by playing with our competitive battle cards via this AI.
So as we built into this AI investment strategy, another thing became clear. The traditional RevOps model was not going to get us there. RevOps and system teams of the past are really built to be admins, not builders. That became a huge problem. If we wanted the speed of innovation we were aiming for, we knew we needed to build GTM much more like a software and product organization than a GTM RevOps team. So we started with that foundation. We worked closely with our data engineering team, and we created a clean, accessible data layer, because without that, nothing else scales. Next, we added our first true builder. He's an actual human. We call him AI Danny. Danny is our software engineer embedded directly in RevOps, our first go-to-market engineer, and he builds exclusively for GTM. That was a game changer in terms of execution speed. But we realized there was still a missing piece. We were missing a product leader, someone to study the customer journey, identify the biggest opportunities for innovation, and to design solutions from first principles. That's why we brought in a founder in residence. This was someone with an entrepreneurial mindset to come in for a 9-month project focused on reimagining go-to-market. And this, of course, was all layered on top of our RevOps team that keep the core systems and processes running every single day. Okay, with that context, we're now going to shift into the heart of our story, the 4 use cases we built with Clay. Each one of these ties back to core revenue metrics that matter at the top line, elevating this work from tactical experiments to true strategic initiatives. For each one, we're going to walk through the problem we solved, the AI solution we built, and then we'll show you the tactical flow in action and where we integrated Clay with other parts of our stack. So let's start with challenge number 1, call prep. Our time study revealed a really big issue. Our reps are spending an average of 6 hours a week on call prep. That's about 15 to 20% of their time. And yet the quality of that prep was all over the place. At the scale we're operating, our AEs may take 5 or more customer calls per day. It's almost impossible to keep up with that call prep, especially with so many new and ramping reps joining the team every month. So what ends up happening is we have a lot of first calls where little to no prep is happening at all. The result is this perfect storm of inefficiency. Reps are spending a huge amount of time, a lot of hours, but the outcomes are still inconsistent and low quality. That drags down win rates, it drags down contract value, it drives up time to close, and it leaves our reps frustrated that they're stuck doing low-value work instead of actually selling.
And our best reps found those right accounts right away and focused on them, understanding the dynamics of the account. They were looking for things on the website that, what make a great Vanta fit, so we set out to automate that. We wanted to do it in 2 ways. One, make sure that we were looking for those great accounts. How can we make sure they're focused on that? And then also preparing for those calls they have. So we set with the best reps, looking at what they were doing. We weren't just looking for data points found in any enrichment provider. We were looking for unique things that took hours to look for. So we turned to Clay, leveraging Clayjet to look at a prospect's website. Our prospects wanted to figure out, is this a person doing compliance for the first time? Or do they already have a security and trust page because they already take it seriously? So we leveraged Clayjet to do just that, going on the prospect's website, looking for pages that demonstrate that compliance posture to the market. And we even took it a step further. We wanted to extract the compliance frameworks that they already had, leveraging us to understand how complex is their compliance program already, helping our AEs show up to those calls even better. We found that Clayjet let us do this at scale, automatically. So now every time an account's created, we do this research, use some internal algorithms to help score those accounts, helping our teams understand where to focus. And then 24 hours before every call, we send an email with this full workup of data to every AE, so they're ready to go in minutes, not hours.
This has been a game changer to have every AE ready for every call with high quality data that matters to our business. Okay, that brings us to challenge number 2, pitch quality. You heard it earlier from Kareem. The second challenge we faced is one that I know so many in this room face, and that's low quality generic outreach. In today's market, generic pitches just get ignored. Buyers are inundated with noise. So much of it now just poorly AI-generated, low-quality written responses that really don't get the attention of buyers. What we needed was unique, eye-catching outreach that felt truly personalized to the receiver. We pushed more of our AEs and SDRs to pick up the phone, and as we did that, we also needed call scripts that were designed to win the attention of busy executives. Without this level of quality, pipeline generation, the lifeblood of every GTM org, starts to break down. And when pipeline suffers, efficiency drops, and customer acquisition cost goes up.
And we found our best SDRs and AEs were crafting messaging that stood out to the person they were sending it to. But also finding the right person can be time-consuming and manual too. So we built automated contact sourcing, trying to match who's the right person at this account to go after. Leveraging content to help our people understand what are the insights that I should bring to this conversation and what should I pitch. Many of our customers use a trust center to help demonstrate that security and compliance posture to the market. So we tested creating customized trust centers for our prospects, all via Clay, making them from scratch. You can see here, matching the prospect's description of themselves on LinkedIn, their brand colors, their logo, leveraging this outreach to catch the eye of our prospects, to show what it might be like to handle those customer and prospect security questions straight from your website.
And with that, our responses went up and efficiency improved. That brought us to challenge number 3, discovery, the favorite of every sales leader. In a competitive market, great discovery isn't optional. It's really how you uncover the real pain and win deals. When we rolled out the MedPick framework to our team, we asked reps to capture their discovery findings inside CRM in a thing we called the command plan. But what we got back, unfortunately, was mostly junk data. For reps, this just felt like busy work. It was time-consuming, it was frustrating. They saw it as something they had to do to appease leadership, not something that actually helped them close deals. The impact of that was serious. Managers couldn't trust the data, and it meant that to really review discovery quality and give coaching, they had to go watch entire calls, which wasn't efficient. So we were spot checking, not getting real inspection. Without consistent high-quality discovery, we weakened our ability to value sell. That hurt our win rates, it drug out time to close, and it lowered our average contract value.
And every AE's favorite thing to do is update the CRM. Okay, maybe not. But that data is needed. We need it to better understand the deal and increase the execution of the sales process. And we spoke to our best AEs, and it became very clear. We need to do this without their intervention. So we built a webhook from Gong. After every single call that was had, we ingested this in a clay table. We analyzed the transcript. We prompted that thing with the context of what we were looking for. And then we split that into unique fields. And now we update it automatically for the AE after every single call. They're also getting a Slack every time, letting them know they don't have to do it. And so our AEs have loved this, saying it saved them 2 hours a week. Some have even called it life-changing.
Very popular. That brings us to our last challenge, challenge number 4, quality follow-up. This was the last challenge we tackled. After every customer call, reps need to send a timely, high-quality follow-up that captures the context, the next steps, the action items, and that reinforces our value prop. But what we saw was that this was a huge time sink. Reps were manually writing these emails, and the quality was super inconsistent. Best case, a rep would wait till the end of the day. They would batch these follow-ups up, send them out, and worst case, they were waiting until days later with a huge delay. And when those emails did go out, what we saw was really low quality follow-up. It just didn't capture the context or the next steps. This had a direct impact on outcomes for us. Slow or sloppy follow-up extends time to close. It risks losing deals to faster-moving competitors. And for reps, it meant a bunch more time spent wasted on low-value admin instead of having conversations and closing business.
And we found our best AEs were urgent about recapping calls they have with customers. They were leveraging speed as a key differentiator. This was something that many of our AEs, like we said, just batching at the end of the day because they were writing them from scratch. It took them hours. So we sat with them. How do we solve this? And we wanted to make sure we got the best, we took what the best reps do, which is getting the prospect information quickly. So we leveraged that same Gong webhook into the clay table, analyzing the transcript, looking at how our best reps write emails, creating a prompt with them, seeing how much they edited the emails that we created, refining the prompt so we could scale it. Now after every call, an AE gets an email in their inbox, pre-written, with the external meeting attendees, the link to the Gong call. So now they can tweak it. Anything that they want to add and leverage sending it right out of Gmail after every single meeting. Our team is already doing this. I'm sure yours is too, copying a transcript into ChatGPT, getting it to write emails for them, copying it over, going back to Gmail. Not only did we automate it, but you can see here, we did it even better.
So not only did we save time and make our team more efficient, we made them incredibly happy. That does not hurt. Okay, we walked through the problems that we solved and how we built AI-powered solutions with Clay. Now let's talk about what really matters, the business impact. These projects were not just experiments for us. They moved the needle on efficiency, pipeline generation, and revenue outcomes at scale.
And in the very rarest way, we wanted to measure what we did. So we went back to that time study, understanding where did they spend time and what have we done now. You saw that we focused a lot on our AEs. We automated things they were doing. We estimated we've saved 9 hours a week for every AE, that stuff that's not prospect facing, enabling to spend more time selling, driving up execution, driving up more pipeline, and allowing us to drive higher ACVs through value-driven conversation. And this didn't just move the middle up and to the right. We found our best reps were finding new ways. They wanted to involve because they wanted to stay on top of the leaderboard.
These investments truly moved our core business metrics. Quality discovery, outreach, and follow-up translate into higher win rates and bigger deals. Efficiency comes from automating low-value work, which frees up time. Our goal is to boost selling time for every AE, and that ultimately means more revenue per quota carrier. A builder culture where everybody's a builder spreads best practices across the org. Here, we're measuring success by what percentage of our ICs are actually building workflows and publishing to their teammates. Today, these plays move metrics that executives, the board, and investors care about. This is where we find alpha in our business. This last summer, Vanta raised a Series D in a super noisy market. And when our lead investor spoke about why he led the round, he actually pointed to something that really stood out. It's that Vanta is not just the biggest player in our space. We're pulling away from dozens and dozens of competitors. And a big reason is our relentless focus on go-to-market efficiency. When you can grow faster than competitors with much more efficient sales and marketing, you don't just move metrics, you fundamentally change the trajectory of your company. That is the power of what we've built with Clay.
And we're not done yet. We're going to have plenty of opportunity for the rest of the roles to increase time saving, the same motion we've leveraged with AEs, helping our CSMs create QBR decks, helping them prepare for the meetings, understand what has changed, and then going deeper on our account scoring, understand more detailed data to help us prioritize our teams even more effectively next year.
If you'd like to keep the conversation going with us, we'd love to talk to you about how to get started. This is all about driving innovation in your own org. The framework is very simple. Think about how you can save time and energy for your top reps, ask them where they waste time, automate the behaviors of your top reps, and then build a builder culture inside your revenue org. Thanks so much for having us today. We'd love to see you on LinkedIn to keep it going.